this afternoon we're discussing smartphones, whether for pleasure, for luxury, for business. Of course, we know smartphones have become indispensable. Communication, education, business, financial services. Well, they are next to our skin, and I don't think anyone can really survive without it. Looking at Nigeria's smartphone market, you see it's grown by 8% year on year, and that's the record for the first quarter of this year. And it's driven by demand for affordable 4G and 5G devices. And in spite of that demand, we've seen prices, of course, have escalated, but has this stopped demand, or has it changed the trend of demand in Nigeria? That's what we're discussing this afternoon. And we're having that conversation this afternoon with Toju Megasin, analyst with Financial Derivatives Company. Hi, Toju. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Annie. Thanks for having me.
Great. So obviously, it seems that the necessity of smartphones outweighs the cost of it if we want to go by the demand trend in Nigeria.
Yes. As you already touched on, smartphones have evolved from being just a basic tool for communication. It's now evolved to being an essential tool for communication, entertainment, digital banking, e-commerce, and even a remote work as well. So this has obviously made it more of an essential good, shifting it from a luxury good to more of a necessity good in today's society. And despite the, as you already highlighted, despite the high prices, the Nigerian smartphone market has actually recorded an 8% increase in amount of importation of smartphones that we're letting into the country, and it's being demanded. So it just obviously highlights the strong, resilient demand for them across consumers in Nigeria. And despite this strong growing demand, it's obviously highlighted also that Nigerian consumers are being more value cautious. So they've obviously opted for mid-range devices to older versions of premium models for affordability, alongside also exercising finance options in order to obviously afford these gadgets.
So it would have been really good if this increased demand leads to increase in production or productivity, or even the raw materials, which we know Nigeria has once again potential for. Can we connect this to in Nigeria's digital economy, increase in demand for smartphones, and then the production part of it?
I mean, in Nigeria, let me concentrate as Africa as a whole. We do possess an abundant and significant reserves in critical minerals that are used in producing these gadgets, such as cobalt, lithium, gold, and other earth raw materials. But the problem is that it just doesn't lie with, or having a successful or having a hand in this global smartphone industry doesn't just rely on having the minerals, but it's down to also highly skilled labor, advanced manufacturing, efficient logistics, as well as strong, reliable power, in which we lack in our nation. So, for example, this is what China has used to leverage and actually have a stamp in the dominance in which they control 80% of total production globally, compared to when they had just a 50% share in 2007. In comparison to that, US has gone from 3% in 2007, 3.5% total share, to having just less than 1%. So that goes to show and underscores the importance of having a very well-integrated supply ecosystem.
But in your research and all, what reforms or policies do you think can come from the Nigerian side, to help it maximize these critical minerals which the country already has?
I mean, all we can do, again, is just strengthening our trade relations with, like I said, Africa as a whole has an abundance of these resources. So if we strengthen our relations within interconnect into trading nations, in order for us to leverage off that, as well as allowing incentives for these production facilities to run smoothly, as well as educating the workforce to have a highly skilled tech education, in order for them to, again, like I said, China have that leverage based on them having all these foundations in place in order for them to have a successful and have a huge stamp in the dominance of global smartphones.
All right, Soju, thank you so much for sharing all of that with us, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much for having me, and have a great day.
You too.